Alright, welcome to a new episode of Verse and Universe. My name is Miriam, and today we're going to learn about this. I know, it's a pain in the TH sound is one of the most unique and hardest sounds in English. Most of us actually confuse between when to pronounce th, sometimes even with the t. Some languages actually don't have the pronunciation of the TH sound, that's why some of us confuse them. And even in Arabic, we don't have th sound, we have th. So it's kind of normal. But don't worry, today we're going to untangle all of these. And we're going to do some exercises with our tongue and mouth in order to know how to pronounce them accurately. So today we're going to take a look at the voiceless TH sound, the voiced TH sound, and even the tricky plural endings like this one and this one. And if you don't know what does it mean to have a voiced or voiceless, just bear with me. We're going to explain that in a few minutes. So, are you ready? Let's go. So the first one is the voiceless TH sound, which is put your tongue between your teeth, but don't bite it, don't like, no, just leave a slight space between them, and then you start to blow air, so it's, and to make sure it's voiceless, because we said it's voiceless, put your fingers on your throat, and make sure it does not vibrate when you pronounce it. So let's check. Nothing is happening, so that's why it's called voiceless. It doesn't have any vibration in here. Now the voiceless TH sound, which is symbolized with this, the theta, if you are into math. Now some examples are think, healthy, and bath. It can happen at the beginning of the word, like think, or in medial position as healthy, or in final position as bath. So again, and put your fingers here to make sure it's not voiced. Think, healthy, bath. Now the next one is the voiced TH sound, which is th. And be careful with this one because we don't have it in Arabic, so that's why people get confused with the first one. So either they say it th, or they don't say it at all, so it's like t. The position is going to be the same. You place your tongue between your teeth and you blow air, but this time it's going to be voiced. How are we going to do that? You're going to try to create a buzzing sound when you pronounce it so that your vocal cords could move and vibrate. So put your tongue between your teeth and blow air and try to create buzzing sound, and let's check. It's there, you see? It's not here, it doesn't vibrate. Vibrates. It's like turning the motor on, you know, it's the it happens, so you're going to do the same sound with your mouth. Now some examples: these, mother, breathe. These, mother, breathe. Now again, it happens at the beginning, in the middle, and at the final. Although we have an E here, but you don't actually pronounce it, it's breathe. You see it, you stop at you say breathe. So it's kind of a mix between the th and the z sound. It's a z. Now, Miriam, we know how to pronounce the th and the th. When do we pronounce this one and this one? How do we know? Well, for this one, there is no actually clear explanation or clear rule. There are some rules, but there are lots of exceptions. And to be honest, memorizing the rule is going to make it harder for you. So I would recommend that you just memorize the pronunciation of the word as it is. And by practice, you're going to get to know when it's pronounced as a th or the. It's unlike the S ending, if you remember, that we talked about before. Like there's clear rule when to pronounce it as a s, z, or is. But for this one, it's kind of tricky. Usually we use the voiceless TH sound, which is th sound, with actual words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, like we said, bath, think. Unlike the th sound, we usually use it with functional words. What do I mean by functional words? It's like they, so it functions as a pronoun, like the, it functions as an article. That's what we mean by functional. But still, there are exceptions. Like we said, the th sound comes with verbs, but breathe is a verb. Again, let me remind you, there are lots of exceptions and you cannot really memorize that. It's gonna confuse you more. I just thought that you might be curious, so I just said that I would tell you that. Even for me, I don't memorize these rules and I just wrote it down on my laptop in here. Now, let's take a look at some minimal pairs. And what do we mean by minimal pairs? It's two words and they only differ in one sound. So they have the same sounds, the two words, but only differ in one sound. So let's take a look. The first column is for voiceless, the second is voiced. So bath, bathe, cloth, clothe, breath, breathe. You see, when it's a noun, it's voiceless, but when it's a verb, it's voiced. But again, that's not the rule. Now, we still have one final part. I know you're kind of exhausted, but stay with me. This is really, really important, I promise. What happens if I have th sound, which is the th sound, and it has an s at the end? So it's plural. How are you going to pronounce it? Let's start with the voiceless th sound. The month, for example, ends with a sound, so it's voiceless. And if I added an S, how are you going to pronounce it? Academically speaking, you're going to pronounce the two sounds. You're going to start with the TH sound, the voiceless sound, and then you're going to pronounce the S after it. So it starts with saying month, and then slightly you start to pull back your tongue inside to pronounce the S sound, which is S. So we're going to do it slowly, and then we're going to go faster after it. So try with me. Month. I know it's weird, it's like a snake, but I know it sounds ridiculous, but this is how you're gonna do it. Now you try a little bit faster, so months, months, months. This is academically speaking, but actually nowadays lots of people are just dropping the th sound completely when it's plural and just say months. Academically speaking, it's inaccurate, but in spoken language, people just do it that because it's much easier and they are right, so that's fine to say months. But if you're at an exam or if you're in a class, so you have to say months and you pronounce the two of them. Now for the voiced, and this is harder, but we're going to do the same thing. At first, we're going to pronounce the v sound, and then we're going to create a z sound, because most of the times when the verb ends with a v sound, it's gonna be pronounced the s ending as z. So let's take a look at breathe. It ends with a v sound. You're going to add an s at the end, so v then z. Now let's try it. Vzz, vzz, vzz. That's like a B this time. So the first time is a snake, now it's a B. So breathes, breathes. It's not breathes, it's breathes. You see, it's like you pull it really quickly. What I would suggest is that you try some tongue twisters with the TH sound. I'm going to add some in the descriptions that you may try to practice, but you can search also anytime and you just write TH tongue twisters and lots of sentences will appear to you. If you don't know the tongue twisters, it's something like that. The mothers can gather the feathers themselves. The mothers can gather the feathers themselves. Lots of this. And finally, we've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and may share that with a friend who struggles with the TH sound. And see you next time. Sayonara.